Rainbow Cup, South Africa, Stormers and Sharks. Sharks hold on at the death, 33 points to 30. Bloody hell, man. How much time have we got? Because that was a mad game. Absolutely bananas, this game. It had red cards, yellow cards, tries galore, a hat trick to a lock. Like, it's an absolute crazy game. Certainly high on the entertainment value factor. I'm not sure that the coaches will be too happy with some of the play. Obviously, some of the attacking stuff was good. Some of the defending stuff maybe a little bit less so. But yeah, it's round one. I did see the Lions lost to the Bulls. That's the other game that was on, but I haven't seen that game. This is the game I've just got up and watched this morning. And like I said, it was madness. Beautiful day in Cape Town. Really good weather, and it started off pretty nicely for the home side. Volita getting the first penalty. A couple of times my stream actually cut out. It said there was technical difficulties with the broadcast, but I don't know what the deal was with that. Things got even better. The Stormers showed some proper great hands with the forwards and the backs. Ryan was involved. Damien Willems was involved, and Herschel Yankees finished off a nice try. So 10-0 pretty early to the Stormers. The Sharks were just making mistakes, man. Line-out errors, knock-ons, and then eventually that led to Rikus Pretorius getting a try on 11 minutes. Volita just took a little sniping run, drew a couple of defenders, and then passed, drew them in and passed. So a 17-0, and it got worse. It got better for the Sharks, I guess. It got worse in terms of like the drama level just being too high to kind of handle. When Sinatla, like pretty bad, he takes out Fussy in the air. He's never competing for that ball. It's terrible. It's like a really bad one. You haven't seen a guy getting taken out in the air like that for ages. At least I haven't. Like those are like when they first started clamping down on like challenges in the air. That's the kind of one that you used to see all the time. I haven't seen one like that for ages. It was pretty bad. Sinatla gets red carded. But remember, with the new law variations being implemented, it's just 20 minutes that the Stormers will be a man down. There's a weird moment of 14 minutes where it looks like Lukhanyo wants to put in a captain's referral. But the ref kind of tells him, you need to tell me what the specifics are, otherwise it's going to not happen. And then he seems to just let it go. And then TMO gets in the ref's ear, Jaco Piper, to say that there's been some foul play by the Stormers. It's Engelbrecht. It's a shoulder kind of to the head, but there's simultaneous contact with the body and the head at the same time, so it's a bit of mitigation. But it's still a yellow card, and suddenly it's 15-13. Sharks take no time to punish the Stormers for having two men down. Thomas Dutoy gets a try. The line out, it's a line out blindside move where, like, I think that was it. Khaleesi? The commentator said it was not sure, but they didn't show a proper replay, at least after I saw it. And he passed it to Dutoy. He just went over. Really good try. 17-7. Red card period and yellow card period is 7-0. But then the Stormers kind of come back into it despite having two men down. Interbeni won a penalty at the breakdown. Volita kicks it 20 points to 7. He gets another long range one on 26 minutes to make it 23-7. The two-man advantage is like suddenly only a 1 point lead for the Sharks. Like they've only won that double man period by 1 point. And at that point I'm thinking, man, Volita's got to be the next Springboks 10, man. He's playing, he's had a try assist, he's kicking long range goals. Everything's going his way. It doesn't stay that way, unfortunately, for the young man. 32 minutes, another Stormers penalty. This time it goes wide, so it's kind of Volita's first mistake from the boot. He's made a knock-on not long before that to make his team under a bit of pressure. He misses another one a few minutes later, and then the red card period is over. So the Stormers have gotten off pretty lightly, to be fair. They've played pretty well. But once you get back to 15-on-15 and Butler gets a try for the Sharks, it's a maul. They miss the conversion. They just kind of peeled to the side of that maul and popped a pass, and it was, great try. So half-time, it's 23-12. It's just a bonkers game, and it doesn't get any kind of better. The Stormers have had a lot more possession in that first half. They put it up on the screen. They said it was 61-39. Now, speaking of bonkers, like, look at the times of these tries. This man, Hugo, who I wasn't that sure if I'd seen play before, is a lock. and he gets a hat trick from the 46 to the 52nd minute, so less than 10 minutes. The dude manages to score 3 tries. Like, have you ever seen that before? I feel like most things you've seen before during rugby matches, right? When was the last time you saw a lock score a hat trick within 10 minutes? The last time you saw a lock get a hat trick, period. 46 minutes. The Sharks, they're putting heaps of pressure on. A quick tap. Hugo's the man who goes over. The TMO also checks some foul play. It's another high shot from Engelbrecht, and he gets his second yellow card. So he's he's red carded. So he's off for 20 minutes essentially until he can be replaced. 3 minutes later, Hugo does the double. The Sharks having quick ball. Pretorius does go for an intercept, and he almost gets it, but he bobbles it for the Stormers, and Hugo's the next man in the line, so he catches it. Doesn't need a second invitation. He goes over for his double. Madness. And then 52 minutes. Hugo gets his hat trick. I wrote, what the hell? Willemse did well to stop the Sharks halfback, who'd made a big line break, but they were right on their own goal line, and the next phase, Hugo is the man who goes over. 33-23. Honestly, it's just mental. He couldn't believe it. The look on his face was absolute joy. Joy, though, for me anyway, as a viewer, turned to a bit of despair when Voliter went down with a pretty yuck knee injury. His knee twisted at a pretty bad angle. It's one of those ones you don't really want to see replayed, but they replayed it. He went off. It looked like Ryan got one on 62 with an intercept, but there was a bit of foul play, a late tackle in the build-up, so they chalked it off. Stormers went close again on 64, but there was a foot in touch from Medwell van der Merwe. 71 minutes though, the Sharks get a yellow card for too many infringements. The Stormers call for a scrum, and they end up getting the result with a try to Damien Willemse, a cross kick to Edwin van der Merwe, who taps it to Willemse. Willemse goes over for the try. Yeah, it's suddenly 33-30. That's proper game on, so you get a grandstanding finish. 76 minutes, the Sharks win a penalty, which they can probably kick to maybe put it beyond doubt. It won't take it beyond 7, but it'll at least mean the Stormers need to get a converted try to win it. But the Stormers do a captain's challenge, saying Nohamba didn't release. And I got to admit, this TMO, I forget who he was, but he was very clear. He has a look at it and says there's no clear and obvious evidence that Nohamba didn't release, because one of his hands does, but you're not sure if the other hand is. So it would have been a failed captain's challenge, but then they said there's additional info that he goes off his feet. So the captain's challenge is lost, but they still find evidence for something else. So the Stormers still win a penalty. They go a heap of phases, and they set themselves up to probably score a try. They put a grubber kick through. Rundell tries to bat it down in the in-goal area. He's unmarked, but the bounce is wicked, and he can't quite. His reaction time's just not quite there. He misses it. He taps it, but he just knocks it on. So the game is over. Like, honestly, blood pressure pills needed after this game. Absolutely crazy. The Stormers finished with more possession, 63, more territory, 66%. The Sharks have more run meters, 355 to 255. The Stormers' tackling percentage is an honestly abysmal 73%. The Sharks are good. It's 84. 84 is good without being great. Like 85 and above is pretty good. 90 is like great, fantastic. But 84 is like okay. Compared to 73, it's very, very good. But man, honestly, crazy game. Interestingly, the Stormers coach is sitting there drinking Coke. You don't usually see that. They usually drink water. Coke. Cool. Yeah, pretty good. I'm so happy to see some South African rugby. To see the likes of Kitsoff and Kolisi, all these guys back. Phenomenal stuff. It's a great morning for me. It's a sunny day. I'm going to go play with the kids, get in the garden. Well, that's been a cracking start to my day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's definitely not perfect. The coaches will have some issues with it, but it's the first game in a wee while, so I think we can expect a little bit of rust. The tackling percentages will rise a bit. Some of the knock-ons will be reduced. Some of the set piece will get better. But we already saw enough to show that there's plenty to like about our South African rugby once again. So yeah, you guys have any thoughts? How did you think this game went? And yeah, I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.